Welcome to the Victors Nation podcast. We are live right now. I am your host, Jason Robinson. With me is Dre Fame. Derek will be out the next few episodes. Him and his wife are celebrating the birth of their healthy baby boy. Again, congrats, Derek and Joanna, another Wolverine in the world. Love it. But we got a very, very,
Congratulations,
very
D.
special. Yep,
We love
congrats,
you,
man.
baby.
We got a very special guest joining us tonight, Mr. Trente Jones.
Yo, what's popping?
What's
It's
up,
T.
dude?
I'm doing good, man. Happy to be
National
on.
champion.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
man.
dude, we appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
So let's get started here. So I think there's a lot of stuff to talk about, football conversation, things like that. But I want to go back. I want to go back last season, Trente. Talked a little bit before the pod, a little bit like high level, but what were some of your most exciting moments last season? I know national championship, but what were some really like highlights? Let's go back a little bit before we talk about this current campaign.
Okay. So I'm gonna start off with something that I enjoyed a lot was I don't want to call it by its actual name, the extra lineman formation. I used to love going out there and being like that force, that extra beef, if you will, going out there and just being like that enforcer and dominating the edge as a tight end. That was very fun, especially when you're getting in the game and you're not really tired and everybody else is tired. It's nice. And I like to mess with my boys when I'm out there because they're tired and they're breathing heavy. I'm like, "What's up, guys? How you doing?" So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So there was a couple moments early in the season where we did that a lot, and then towards the middle of the season we played Penn State. That game wasn't very fun for the aspect of not being tired because I was out there every play. I was almost starting for how much I was out there. It was crazy. But I was definitely it was definitely fun, especially I'm pretty sure that's the one where Donald lost his shoe. I'm pretty sure that's the game.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. When he
That
ran
was
for the
fun.
touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, "Woo, yep." That was that one. That was a fun game. I enjoyed that because I was on I would say like a backup middle linebacker, but they had to put him on outside linebacker, and he's just not a put your hand in the dirt type of guy. So like they just didn't have enough players that were big enough to be on that D line. Obviously, they're doing pretty good right now. I think they're number 3 in the country. But last year they did not have that beef. It was very unfortunate to be that guy. Looking back at it, I was balling. I probably had like a 90 in the grades in the 90s, so that was pretty fun. Ooh, and then jump into like the main points. Ohio State, the team down south. I don't know how people are saying it nowadays, but
there's a lot of different names for them, but I mean, we don't got all night, probably.
Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot. There's a lot of different ways to say it, but like when I went out there for Zinner, the suck guys, yes sir. When I went out there for Zinner, man, I just knew that we had a goal in mind, and that was to win every game, be undefeated, because I'm pretty sure we met undefeated. And I just knew that like going out there and dominating for Zinter, because he was doing really good, was going to be key. Because if I went out there and just shat the bed, man, I would have been hated for the rest of life, right? So I knew that like I had to lock in, really focus up. I obviously like did good, so like I was locked in before the game. I knew that if anything happened, I could go play right guard, left tackle, right tackle. Not left guard. I wasn't really great at left guard or center for that matter. But I knew right guard, right tackle, left tackle. I knew that I could go out there and play those positions. So I was like, all right, whatever happens, happens. Something happened. I was like, all right, let's go. Everybody was worried. I was like I've been doing this for a while, man. I got this right. So I wasn't worried. And me and Carson used to practice right next to each other all the time, playing right guard, right tackle, flip flop. So I wasn't worried. We had a good chemistry. We balled out. There was one play where I messed up, but we're not going to talk about that. But every other play, every other play was really good. We did good next to each other, especially in the run game. Just dominating.
So how was that like? Yep. Like being on the field So when Zach went down, a lot of emotion, crowd was going crazy. Like, what was that momentum shift like? What was that like feeling like that? Hey, we're going down to score basically. Because like it looks like we were on like a mission, obviously, the whole game. That was the plan, obviously. But like when Zach went down, it's just like straight to business. Like being on the field, Trente, like what was that emotion like?
Well, it turned really fast because I remember Blake scored the first play I was in. I was a little like bummed out because like I was like I didn't get really like a chance to like get in the game and start hitting people. Like obviously I was in that game before that point, but I only had a couple plays before that. So when we scored first play, I was like, oh, it was a little bit of a letdown. It was exciting, obviously, but for me personally, like selfish reasons, it was a letdown because I was like, I'm trying to get a little drive going, get my blood pumping. Because I was just I was literally sitting on the bench. I was like, I don't know, right? And then I go out there
right after that,
right. Yeah, I was like, fuck. But after that, I was like, all right, so we got a little momentum because we scored, right? So at least everybody's feeling good. I was feeling very neutral at the time, but people were feeling good. And I was like, all right, if they're feeling good, I'm gonna be with them, right? So I was a big supporter, big like team guy. Like no matter what was happening, I was just trying to stay neutral for other people to lean on. I wasn't like a big talker. Anytime I was talking, it was like, let's go. It wasn't too like specific or crazy. It was like a general hype me up type of guy. But after that score, and then we got the ball back, and then we ended up punting. But before that drive, we were just running the ball. That was pretty fun. I just kind of went into my flow state, blocking down, having good footwork, put my hands in the right place. I mean, wasn't too crazy. It was just a lot of like fundamental stuff, knowing that I just need to be the best version of myself. There wasn't anything special I had to do. I just had to go out there and ball. So that was really, really fun. And that's just without the championship run, unless you count that as a championship run type of game, which some people do. But like you got the Rose Bowl, the championship. But that Ohio State game, man, great game. Top 5 moments of my life. Yeah, that was a fun season for sure.
Awesome. I mean, even like going back against Penn State. Oh, just got a little bit of lag. I was just going to go back real quick to Penn State. Running the ball like 30 plus or 30 some times in that game. Like, what was that game plan right there? Like, it was like, what was like, who was telling you? Was it the coaches? Like, the team agreements basically of like, hey, we're going to run the ball down their throat and we're just going to keep running the ball. We're not going to pass like one play. Or was it play by play? Like, what was the plan going in towards the end of the game?
After halftime, the plan was, we're not holding up as good as we should be versus their pass rushers. Like we were trying to go on 2, we were trying to change up the momentum, run it a little bit, do this, do that. And the pass rush was getting home, right? So we knew that play by play. Exactly. He was different, and he got drafted really high because he was different. Like people know. He's different. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of those type of rushers where you really got to take him out of the game if you want to win. So we knew that every time we ran, did pretty good. Every time we passed, didn't do as good. So we were just gonna keep going. And he was like, if it's working, we're gonna keep doing it. So we were like, all right, bet. And then when he said, Trente, strap up your helmet, I was like, okay. So we're about to start just putting me out there every play. And I went out there for like 10 plays in a row. It was crazy. I was just as tired as anybody else out there. It was definitely one for the memories, you know. It was special. Coach.
I mean, I think that's gonna be talked about forever.
From
like you're literally like they know what you're gonna do, and we're just gonna run the ball down your throat, and you can't stop it, basically. Yep. And we've seen other games like that as well too, but.
I could see from how you talking, man. You like running it more than you like passing it.
Hell yeah, I like running it more than like passing it. Bro. Here's the thing.
With people.
Like when like a TFL versus a sack rattles up the quarterback, completely changes the game. TFL, you know what I'm saying? Like -1 or 2. I'm not, and half the time it's not a TFL because of Blake. Make somebody miss get some yards. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thing. I was a big run game guy because my arms weren't super long. And the reason why most people wanted long arm tackles is because they can run people around the hoop a lot easier and they can make sure that people don't get on their body. For me, a lot of people get on my body because my arms weren't longer than theirs. That's just my build. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so compact and like strong, and my legs were really strong at the time. I lost a bit of weight since then, but my legs were really big at the time. I was
good,
always in. No, exactly. Always in the gym doing legs because I knew that I needed to be able to be one of the best run blockers on the team, being that extra lineman. So my legs, boom, like I was that type of guy, always in the gym, always trying to work on my strength and power and my acceleration because being that run enforcer was super important for our team identity on top of that. So, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Out of Michigan, obviously you chose Michigan, the greatest choice ever. What was your top three? What was your top three choices and what made you choose Michigan?
I love this question. Great question, by the way. Top three. I always go back to what I was, trying to go to, right? I wanted to go to a school with great education, great history, and a great coach, right? So that whittled me down a lot, especially on the educational part. It whittled me down to Stanford, Duke, and Michigan. And then I also wanted to go to a team that could win a lot, right? And at the time, no offense, Michigan fans, love you, obviously. You know what I'm saying? You see this? You know what I'm saying? Like, love Michigan. But at the time, we weren't like that championship caliber, but I felt like we could. Nope. They had the building blocks to get to that point, right? And they just needed that boost. And when me, Cade, Carson, Trevor, we came in that class, I knew that we had something special. So, but that's beside the point. I wanted to go to Duke, Michigan, Stanford, and then Tennessee came in late, but then they started offering a whole bunch of guys that were like 6'5", 6'6" at my position. I was like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that smoke. They're going to make me play center. I'm not trying to do that, right? I'm 6'3". They're going to see that. They're going to be like, snap this ball. No, I'm good. So, yeah, exactly. But then Duke, Stanford, I knocked off Stanford because they wanted me to like take like 4 or 5 AP classes my senior year. Not afraid to admit that. I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I knocked them off. Great school, great program, you know what I'm saying? Great history, but I was like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. But then it was Duke in Michigan. And then I went to a Duke game and it was like Florida State in conference, and there were maybe 10,000 people there. I was like, oh, yeah. Not trying to be a part of a rebuild, not gonna lie. Maybe a slight rebuild like Michigan, but that's from like rock bottom. You're playing Florida State at the time, they were like decent, right? They're decent. Yeah. They're not like FCS. And you're Duke. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be like a decent game, and there was only 10,000 people there. Like you can walk around the whole stadium easy. You know what I'm saying? That was not the vibe I was trying to go for. But then went to Michigan, met Coach Harbaugh. He brought his enthusiasm, and I was just like, man, this is probably the craziest person I know, but I think I need that. I think I need that in a coach. Like, I don't want my coach to be relatable. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's relatable, it's not going to work. I feel like the crazier the coach, 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a better coach because they're going to think on a level that's completely out of your range. So it's easier to buy in. Like when it's relatable, you can think of cracks. When you can't think of anything, it's like, all right, I guess I'm going to go for it. So that's why I ended up picking him. I knew he was going to be a great coach. Ended up being a great coach. Won 3 Big Ten championships, won a national championship, won 2 Joe Moores. I would not change a thing. Great coach, great person, great father, great mentor. Love Coach Harbaugh. So in short, Coach Harbaugh.
Give me one Jim Harbaugh story you can tell.
Yeah, dude. I was just about to ask that. Love it.
I have a lot, right? But I'm not gonna.
I know you do.
I'm not gonna go to the wildest one. I'm gonna go to one that's a little unhinged, but it's not like the craziest thing. Just know there are crazier things that I could say here. But here's a crazy one. This one,
we'll talk about it off camera.
Right. This one is 60% as crazy as the craziest thing, and you're gonna be like, wow, right? So here, all right. I'm a senior. I get my first car. This is a big body truck. It's a fishbowl, no tent. Crazy, right? So I'm thinking I'm smooth. I'm going to the almost said to the club. I don't go to the club. I'm going to the movie theaters. I'm eating food. I'm getting big. I'm feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? Swerving, doing my thing. Regardless, I do a left turn. It was green, turn to yellow blinking. If you drive, most people do. Yellow blinking means caution. That means that if you go, don't get hit. Me, I got hit. Right. So it was bad. Wow. It was bad. I thought I was smooth, but you look back at the film said it was green, went to yellow blinking. Not good. It was in transition. It was close. It was almost not my fault, but it ended up being my fault technically. But there was other things that happened with the other driver that made it to where I didn't have to pay anything. So I was smooth. Right. But then John is in.
Some comments coming into him. Yep.
Awesome. But yes, Duke is a basketball school. Yep, real. Facts. I mean, that would have been cool though, going to a Duke game. Basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, I always want to go to Duke North Carolina hoop game for sure.
That wouldn't have been bad. I wouldn't have hated that.
Nope.
But that was literally the only appeal that I saw. But Coach Harbaugh's story, right? So I finally totaled the car. Actually got slammed. Girlfriend was at the time was in the car. It was crazy. Very unfortunate. RIP my truck, man. It was everything to me, but over with. But then finally get out, you know what I'm saying? I help everybody, you know, because I was like that protector. I was helping everybody out of their cars, doing my thing. So just in case like one exploded or something, knock on wood, but it was in the past, but nothing exploded. A lot of glass. I had a lot of cuts. My arm got messed up. But I finally I was already committed to Michigan at the time, but I finally get to talking to Coach Harbaugh, and you know what this man said to me? He said a lesser man would have died. What? What do you mean? What do you mean I would have died? You tell me
Hey, that's words of wisdom. I mean, that's words of encouragement. You don't want to hear that right now.
He was spitting, but that was
positivity of constantly building confidence as well too. Like that is awesome.
He was spitting, but that was the day after. You
definitely want to hear that.
So if I would have died, you would have thought I was a lesser man, though. That's crazy. That's you know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just human. You know what I mean? But that was crazy. That was some crazy shit that he said. You know, and ever since then, he started actually saying that like a saying, because I didn't trip. He started actually saying it to people. So anytime something happened to somebody, a lesser man would have died, and everybody else has the same reaction, like, whoa, like that's pretty crazy, coach. But nah, that was definitely one of the not even the craziest thing he's ever said. Not even the craziest thing he's ever said.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, can't hate on him, man. It definitely changed my point of view, because you know what I'm saying? If I did die there, yeah, I mean, I'm a lesser man. You're a lesser man if you die right there. You're a lesser man.
I guess he wasn't lying, hypothetically, he wasn't lying, I guess.
If I had a heart condition, I probably, you know what I'm saying? RIP.
Lesser man would have died. Yep.
For sure. Bars.
Oh, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah.
That's the thing. I can see Jim saying that and not even thinking it. It just comes out. It just comes out.
I was about to say, not even blinking, yo.
Not even a thought. Just right after he saw you, within not even half a second, he's already saying.
That was his first thought. That's crazy. Not even Like, I hope you're okay. Nah, nope. Nope. Not at all.
Well, that is awesome.
Hey, no, let me ask you one more question. When did you know, like, when did y'all know it was going to, like, turn around? Because the year before it turned around, you was there, correct?
I was there from 2019 to 2024. Yep.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
I knew. All right. So after 2019, Cade made all the freshmen come in. He was like, "We're gonna turn this shit around. We're going da da da." I was like, "All right, I'm bought in." 2020, he was like, "Give us some time. Don't leave. Just, you know what I'm saying, buy in, because our time is coming. Like, the bulk of our class still are underclassmen. We're not playing. When we start playing, we're gonna start beating people." Once we started playing, things started to little, you know what I'm saying, get right into us doing that. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna start winning stuff. After Cade had one of the earlier starts, well, not starts, but like playing, because he had that Rutgers game that he played and we won. We ended up losing the rest of the games, but that was a little bit of a hope where we were like, okay, we might start winning. But then that's where it started. So to answer your question, it started Rutgers when we beat them in overtime, but we were like confident in that because obviously we were 2-4, but we were confident in that once we, I would say, like right before the Ohio State game, I knew that we were going to win something special. After that, or like right before that Ohio State game in 2021, and then us beating them and getting that many rushing touchdowns, I was like, yeah, we're about to do something. Right before that was when we won the Joe Moore. I was like, it's gonna be on our backs, the O-line. So I knew that we were gonna start balling. And then, yeah, I mean, the rest is history from there, especially for the O-line.
For sure.
I mean, trenches in that game, yeah, for sure. Like, what other factors?
Did y'all take that? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna ask, like, we're on the same topic. Like, what other factors, Trente, like, did you take into account, like, being a part of that turnaround? Like, anyone in the locker room that you can think of, or coaching, or specific coaches, or different game plans, strategies, like what else, like, kind of like really opened your mind that, like, hey, like, this is the turnaround is this year. It's not going to be next year. We're not going to see another tough year, maybe of Michigan football, maybe a good season, but like maybe not win a bowl game here or there. But like, what really like turned it around? Like, what are some other factors besides that turnaround?
Honestly, terrible question. I have no idea what you're trying to say here. You're gonna have to rock me through it.
No, so basically, like, the culture. So like the culture that changed. So Dre asked you that question. So I'm asking like other factors, like what other factors made you realize that like this is the year 2021 that this is turned around now. This is our culture now. This is a winning culture and we're not going back basically.
I would say me being as good as I was and then not starting. That's what I would say, because I knew that we had depth unknown to like college football in general. Like, we literally had the best O-line in the country and I wasn't a starter on that O-line. I technically started, but I wasn't a starter. And I was like, okay, we're going to definitely do something. And it's just going to be a matter of time before we actually do something with it. And I knew that with Coach Sharon being the O-line coach, OC, and then head coach now, that he was special from the beginning. Ever since he became the O-line coach, over the absence of Coach Warner. By the way, don't like him. Anyways, moving on to him was definitely a good change. And then Grant not even being a coach, but still there. That was a huge thing. Kind of like how I wasn't a starter. He wasn't a starter, but we were both there. Yeah, that was good. Not to say I was like the backbone or anything, but not playing. But there was like a lot of,
bro. You played a big role. You played a big role for real, no, man.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, for real.
Yep. There was a lot of key players like that, like me, Grant, Carson, even points where he wasn't even starting. Like, we had a great solid backup role, and I feel like that's going to be the difference of being successful and not in coming years, because with NIL, if you're not paying a certain player, they're gonna leave. They're a backup when they feel like they can go somewhere else and start. Yeah, they're gonna leave. So now it's gonna be, can you get that star player, but then can you also have someone just in case that star player can't play a certain day? So I feel like that was.
Do you think it's gonna be more balanced? Do you think it's gonna be more balanced than now they doing the revenue sharing? I mean, NIL is still gonna play a big factor, but I think with revenue sharing, that should kind of slow the transfer portal down just a little bit.
You talking about the NCAA? You talking about the NCAA?
Yeah. Ain't that's what it's called, profit sharing or something like that? That they're gonna start next year, that they pay all the players.
Yeah, it should definitely
help. Revenue sharing. My bad, revenue sharing.
Yeah. I think it should help. But at the same time, like, if you're not winning, you're not gonna get a lot of revenue. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be better for certain teams.
That's
like
true.
The teams that winning every year, winning their championship, winning their conference, I feel like they're going to get more. Now, if it's the same overall, then it'll definitely slow down the transfer portal when it comes to backups. But obviously, if a team feels they got something for you, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard to turn down 100,000 when you're poor. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of players who come from nothing, and all it takes is one dotted line that say 100,000.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gone.
Yeah. And 100,000 ain't hard to come by.
Did the O-line take it personal? Did the O-line take it personal when Washington won the Joe Moore Award last year?
Man, we were pissed. Because here's the thing. We weren't even like the semifinals. I'm pretty sure we weren't top 4. When we saw that, we were hot. Like, we were like, oh, we got to go crazy. And then we saw Washington got it. Yeah, definitely now.
Yeah.
Because we were literally the deepest, oldest, most vetted out O-line in the entire country from a lot of perspectives. You had LD, 5th year, me, 5th year, Carson, 5th year, Trevor, 5th year, Zenter, 4th year, right? You had Miles, 4th year, 2 very vetted players. Then you had Gentry, dog. Link wasn't great at the time, but obviously he was a dog. Then you had Percy, also an older player. You had Reese Atterbury, an older player who knows the playbook. It doesn't even matter if somebody thinks you're good or not. If you know the playbook, you're better than 90% of people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So those two, they knew the playbook like the back of their hands. I think he played D-line towards the end of the season, but regardless, he was on O-line too. You had Dom, you had Raheem. Those are all the players, like Gio played a lot too. Most people forget about him. He was there balling. And
that's
all of them.
Sir.
That's
Gio,
like
shout out
12
Gio.
people. That's 12 people that you can rely on. And then us not even getting top 4, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I wish we had that depth right now. Shit.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I mean, I think the talent's there. I mean, we'll get there, but I just want to share this clown real quick. So, looks like finally we're getting big enough, Trey, where we got some like opposing fans in here. Dude, you literally
shout out to you, bro.
Yeah. Love you, man.
We appreciate it,
so
bro.
You literally,
even though you're from Illinois.
Really liked an yeah. Dude, it don't matter. I mean, like, you went out of your way to like and go into a Michigan.
No, man, it's okay, bro. They don't win a lot, so you know, let them.
I know. Well, last time they beat us was 2000.
They don't win a lot.
Yeah, last time they beat us was 2009.
They don't win a lot. They happy.
Well, my thing is they
don't win a lot.
It's 9:30 on a Tuesday night. I feel like that's a win in itself. Him being in here, that's
exactly
how bored somebody is. Nah, you're
dude, like seriously, just with like he said something else. He called this something else too, and it's typically what Ohio State fans call us and all that stuff. It's just loser mentality. So I know you got to come in here and shoot your shit, and I'm sure you already left because you're a puss. But also, dude, at the same time, your personal life is probably just as pathetic if we're going to call us cheaters because you guys can't win shit. And Illinois, you guys are in for a hard downfall this year. Trust me. You guys ain't shit. It's fun loser.
They beat us, bro. they did this, bro. You know, let them
trash.
Let them get their little, their little gloat in.
Yeah.
I don't even. That's what I'm saying. I don't be mad, bro. You gotta understand.
You
gotta understand, bro. We everybody's national championship, bro. To beat us is the national championship for people. So you know what I'm saying, especially in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You just think it's kind of funny, like. No, I'm not worried. I'm just saying. I think it's just. I mean, we got to share it because if you're about to comment, I'm going to put you on blast for it as well too. But like.
Oh yeah, we love
basically,
it.
It's an absolute joke. Like when people call Michigan cheaters, I would really look at your personal lives. Look at your personal lives too. I'm sure you make excuses for that as well too, because you got your ass.
We have one of the cheaters on our what's the name right now. So ask him, do he think that they cheated? Yeah. Yeah.
You damn right.
Yeah.
No,
there you go.
Listen, I feel like there was a lot of moments. Like, here's the thing.
I love Trent, man. He said you're damn right.
If you gonna call us a cheater, like, bro, like, here's the thing. Here's like the full thing. Even if that was all right, no, I have a whole spiel about this that I've thought about, but I can start from the beginning. Okay, so you notice how with this year with NIL, how there was a lot of teams that are like kind of not looking as good as they usually are, kind of looking a little off, a little shaky, losing games they probably shouldn't lose. Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, those SEC teams, right?
Yeah, not even putting full games together. I mean, for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
It seems like they're not as dominant as they usually are. And you could blame the NIL, you can blame this, you can blame that. But after we got caught cheating, some teams kind of not doing as good as they should. Now, I'm not saying that certain teams stopped cheating, stopped doing the, the sign stealing, but it's awfully convenient that a lot of teams are now starting to fall off when they really shouldn't. Now, I'm not saying that we did this, we did that. I'm not here to argue that. I'm here to say that a lot of teams are losing games they probably shouldn't lose. And now teams like Navy, Vanderbilt, Army, those teams that usually have pretty good integrity, pretty good recruitment when it comes to no NIL, those teams are doing a lot better. I don't know. I put 2 and 2 together. That's all I'm saying. And
hey, I'm with you on that. I am definitely with you on that theory. You know what I'm saying? I see it too. That's why I said it too. Like, it ain't really the same no more. You know what I'm saying? You can't do what you did last year.
Right.
I mean, it's hurting everybody. It ain't just hurting
us. Exactly. And you can. And here's the thing. Here's the craziest part. If that was a rule and everybody was breaking it, and you know what I'm saying, they were still doing great, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe we were wrong. But if everybody was doing it and we just got caught doing it, hey, all I'm saying is things wouldn't be where it is now if that was the case. Now, if nobody, like if those teams weren't winning or they were winning, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's my 2 cents. I don't like to say that much because, you know what I'm saying, gives a lot of people too much power in your own head, but I know that it wouldn't be like that if that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, and your perspective is golden because you was like actually in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You was a part of it. So, like, when at first, to be honest, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I despise Connor. I was like, what the hell is you doing our program? But after learning about him and getting to talk to him and meet him and see how y'all still love him, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's a different, I feel it was totally different around. As you can see, he's around us at our tailgate. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel totally different about him as I did before I watched the documentary and got to know him. And like, that man is a genius in my eyes.
Yeah.
And
love Connor, that's my guy. That's my guy.
See what I'm saying? All of the players say the same thing. I ain't never heard a player say nothing bad about him yet.
I've never had a negative experience with him. Granted, we didn't like have the same coaching room. Like, he wasn't in our room, but like He's just a regular dude, loving Michigan football and loving the success. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
so
yeah.
Yes.
going hard for his
Yeah.
team, man. That's really all you can say about him. What else can you say?
Yeah, man. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
418 rushing yards versus Penn State 2022, by the way.
Shout them out. Big Trente.
It was
5-3.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, man. How do you feel about this season, man? I know it's tough for you to watch, just like everybody else.
The moment was too big, pissed down the leg, man. Nah, I'm playing. There's a lot of moments where I'm just like, what are we doing? Like I feel like a lot of things like have changed. Obviously, like you lost the OC, lost your head coach, lost your DC, lost tight end, 7 offensive linemen, 2 wide receivers, running back, a couple tight ends, a DB, a cornerback, couple linemen, a couple D tackles, safety, kicker, punt returner, kick returner. The list goes on. There's a lot of things, and don't get me wrong, a lot of teams deal with that, right? But that team that we just had, not easily replicated. So I feel like
one of the best teams ever in college football.
Ever. And it's still like not even computing in my head. One of the best teams ever. And even if you like completely hate Michigan, still a top team, still a top 10 team ever. You got 2019 LSU, you got 2001 Miami, right? You got Alabama from 2012. I hate them, but that 2014 Ohio State team, that's a pretty good team. You know what I'm saying? Like they had 2019
quarterbacks for daily. Yep.
There's a lot of great teams, but that was a really elite team, and it's not going to be easily replicated. And now, if we were one of those teams that always did national championships and always had that great recruiting and always had that head coach, if we still had our head coach, slightly different because recruiting would be different, culture would be the same. You know what I'm saying? But we don't. We lost everything. We're in a complete reset. And there's a lot of people playing new positions. You got Link, sophomore, playing right tackle. Not to say that he can't play right tackle. This is he's 19. You expect him to ball out versus Texas every time? No. I give them a lot of credit for how good they've been playing. I give them a lot of credit for even beating teams that they probably shouldn't have beat, or even staying in games they probably shouldn't be in. But they're balling. They're doing the best they can. And, not to not hold them at a higher standard, because this is Michigan football. But you got to understand, this is a new team, new head coach. I would honestly give them even 2 years. You know what I'm saying? To figure out really what the identity is, because this is a new team. They need a new identity. Right now, It's not O-line. I would say it's probably D-line. D-line is probably the identity of this team. And the D-line play good, this team's going to play good. Now, to get back to where we were, O-line has to play better. QB play has to be good. Davis Warren's doing really good. By the way, I called Davis Warren to be the guy. I called it. I swear to everything. You can look at the podcast with my boy. Forgot his name. It's losing my mind. But I said Davis Warren, the guy. I also said Orji would be really, really good for the Michigan Wolverines. But QB play has to be better. Was good last weekend. Has to continue. O-line play has to be better. We have to get Miles. We got to get Gentry back. We got to play Link. We also have to use Percy more often in those extra jumbo sets. D-line has to continue doing what they're doing. Josiah Stewart, balling. Derek Moore, great pass rush percentage. KG and Mason, extremely good. Pierce, Brandt, and Ike, very underrated on that D-line. Very good. DBs have been doing good. Jair Hill, been playing better. We need to get Will Johnson back and healthy and use Colston Loveland. And I feel like we can go surprise some people. Go ball out.
I got a feeling we're going to win this weekend. That's my thing. I've been saying
I think they're due for an L. I think so, too. They're due for an L.
Yeah, I think we're going to win this weekend. That's just – if Davis Warren can play how he played and our defense and Jair Hill can hold up just a little bit, man, I think we're going to be straight.
Absolutely.
Because Oregon ain't no world beaters, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, they bleed. They bleed just like we do.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, I wish I was out there, man. I swear I do. Oh,
I know.
I was about to ask you, do you miss? I was about to ask you, do you miss being in the big house? Man. I was just about to say that. Do you?
Man, I tell you what, man. Some of these kids soft, man. I tell you what, I do understand. I do understand that I am 23. I am literally an adult, and I should be doing certain things to 18, 19, 20-year-olds. But I'm just saying, I would be balling. That's all I gotta say.
Do you think what's his name? Ben Herbert leaving for the Chargers hurt us a lot too?
I completely forgot about that. Hell yeah. Now, his replacement, forgot his name. Damn, what is his name? Tress. I was thinking Jess. Tress, Jay Tress. Dog, right? But like I said, with the Coach Harbaugh leaving, these are great people. It's just not the same because Ben is a top of the line, number one in the country college football weight training coach. Now, Tress, I'm sure he's doing the exact same thing Coach Ben is doing, but it's just going to be different. This is a different human. This is a different ideology. And all he can do is try to replicate it as best as he can. But I feel like he's going to have to get his own identity, kind of like this new team, because how are you going to progress something further than somebody who created it? You understand? Like, it's really extremely hard to like replicate and then surpass somebody who literally created that style of thinking. Now,
I'm about to say and taught you.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but I do know. I think
low key. I think that was our biggest loss. To be honest, I think that was him leaving for the Chargers was one of our biggest losses.
Yeah,
because man, he had y'all boys eating. You know what I'm saying, and it just don't seem like
there's a lot of different equations. There's a ton of different equations here of like pieces just missing. It's just like they gotta find it. It's gonna take a little time, but I mean, it's a complete overhaul at this point.
Yeah,
for sure. Trente, what do you think about some of the? You don't have to go into like complete specifics, but maybe some of the play calling that you've seen this season on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side.
I was about to say offense. Defensive side. Yeah. No, I think offensively, to start off with, this past weekend, really fucking good. I liked it. It reminded me of the.
Hold on, wait. Question. Hold on, wait. Do you think Sharon or Kirk was calling the plays the last week though?
I think there were more. It felt more like Coach Moore was putting his hand on it a little bit more,
like a collaboration
with timing, because Kirk calls the same stuff as Coach Moore, but the timing usually would be off. This weekend, it felt like more of a Coach Moore timing when it came to play calling. Regardless,
play calling.
I'm gonna just put my 2 cents on what it was, the product on the field, not the person calling it necessarily. So, product on the field, timing was great. I love this timing where it's run, play action, RPO, explosive, run a trick play, run something different, speed it up, dig into the loop bag, do something confusing with speed and effectively. You know what I'm saying? So they had an explosive down the field. They brought Orgy in, or had explosive, ran with Orgy, or had explosive, slowed it down, did a sweep, ran the ball up the middle, RPO, another explosive, throw the ball with Dono. But, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, that's very good to throw off the pacing of the defense. And literally, the more tired you are, the harder it is to, be effective on that, right?
To defend.
I think, unfortunately, Sharon's biggest weakness is that he's almost way better than most people at being an OC, and he's the head coach. So, if he is going to,
I think he need to call the plays.
I want him to be more hands-on with that OC stuff, man, because he is elite.
We've been talking about that throughout this whole season, basically.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, I think
man.
I think he's an elite
man.
elite OC. He's obviously a really good head coach. And with time, he's going to even get better because that's what he's done. Every single year at O-line, he was getting better. Every year at OC, he got better. So he's going to get better at being a head coach, obviously. But when he's putting his hands on that offensive play sheet, man, he is dangerous. Also, somebody said, let the Don throw more. I wouldn't hate to see Don at QB. I just want to picture.
I know, dude, QB1, man.
Bro, if he went out there,
hold on, what?
If you put Don at QB, just want, like, I'm honestly just give him a drive. I just want to see it, man. And I know that's a dangerous talk, but
not this weekend, but like maybe against Northwestern.
Man, just like put him out there, dog.
And say hypothetically, let Don run the offense.
Hey, low key, hey, we can get it for Oregon. They would definitely not expect that. Some Wildcat with Donovan.
Put Donovan at QB, put Orgy at running back. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
Ooh.
No, and they're both back there already. They're already both back there, right? So yeah, that would be hilarious. I'd love that. But that's a side note. I feel like both of them have strengths and positions that they're not necessarily playing right now.
I mean, another fun fact too that it's kind of reading about. But Donovan Edwards, so only Big Ten running back this century with multiple touchdown runs, touchdown catches, and touchdown passes. That's incredible. So a lot of fans are looking at like slow starting again this year. He's just not picking it up. It's not where I'm expecting him to be, but his accomplishments are speaking louder. I mean, he's done a lot in his career.
I think it's
coaching.
I think it's all play calling. Yeah, it's all play calling.
Knowing your talent.
They're definitely not using him right in my eyes. I'm not an offensive coordinator, so I don't really know shit. But I'm just saying, in my eyes, it don't look like they're using him right.
I feel like the reason why you can't put him out there in that position a lot is because of the predictability. And the more you call something, the more predictable it gets. And you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, when was the last time Donovan rolled out to the right and threw a pass like that? You look back.
That was 2021, right?
Last one was in the Rose Bowl when he threw it back to JJ.
Oh, yeah, JJ. Yeah.
And then Roman. Right. And then before that was in 2021. So he's only done 3 in my mind. 3 where he rolls to the right and then throws it. That's only 3. If you do it too much, it's going to get predictable. And that's why
he's going to be waiting in the back. Yep.
And when you think about it, when you're running plays like that in NCAA, you know what happens? That they switch that corner and they go blow up the person who's going to get the ball. And you don't want that. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen unless you give him the ball off the snap, off the muscle. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just creativity.
Definitely creativity is needed.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
Beginning of the season, for sure, and probably on the defensive side. So, I mean, we kind of been talking about the same stuff throughout this whole year.
How you feel about Wink?
Wink. Oh, brother. So it kind of feels like he's putting a lot of pressure on certain players that haven't been asked to do that in the past. It makes me think of Barham. You kind of put him in a position where he's guarding wide receivers, and I think he's one of the best athletes on the field. But he's not a guard a wide receiver, guard a Colston Loveland type tight end. He's not. I don't think he's.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think that's who he is. I think that he can in moments. He does, but doing it so often to where people can predict it and expose it, not great. I'm pretty sure it almost happened when in the MSU game where he was guarding one of their tight ends that is like a Colston Loveland type tight end, and he almost got loose. If the quarterback threw it to him, dog, it would have been bad.
Well, is you talking about the crossing route? The crossing route?
Yes. I was like, if we put it on him,
Yes.
that would have been a touchdown, and it might have changed the game. Just saying.
Yes.
I feel like we need to stop. Like, it's starting to feel giving me flashbacks of Don Brown, where we're always in man, and it's like we're always
situations worse. Some situations worse.
We got to put our positions. Yeah, we got to put our players in good positions to be successful. Like, kind of like with the quarterback. You want to throw high percentage throws. You want to blitz high percentage plays where they might run or might give up an open rusher. You know what I'm saying? Like, simulate some pressure. Sometimes you just got to simulate it, and it's just as dangerous. So I don't know. I feel like because he's the creator of that defense, with the his.
I can't tell he the damn creator. Damn.
I know.
He's supposed to be the Godfather, Minter, McDonald. I'm not seeing it.
The problem is I feel like, me personally, just my opinion, don't hate me if you're listening to this, he probably not. But I feel like he's so used to being with NFL guys who can actually do stuff like that. Who are used to doing stuff like that.
All year we've been talking about exactly what Trente was just saying too. Is does he know the talent? I don't think he knows the talent. Like, he had Mason Graham in a weird position as well too last weekend. Like, it just, and then why are we blitzing? Like, so after week 3, it was like 54% of blitzing, which is like almost more than Don Brown in some point during that duration. But it's like, dude, why are you blitzing on 3rd and long in certain situations when you have the best front in probably all of college football? So, Trente, you were saying 3rd in the country in rushing defense. You're putting your secondary, who's got injuries right now, like 5 guys out. McBurrow's out for the season.
We got young people.
Too, but like young experienced guys.
Yeah.
You're like, with these blitzes on 3rd and long, like, can he read the talent? Does he know what he has out there? Because you're putting that secondary in a really tough position to, like, even have those linebackers. You don't need to be blitzing on 3rd and long, dude. Those guys need help. You already know what they're going to do. You might have a draw play up the middle, but we have Hausman, we have Barham, we have talented, we have speed at the linebacker position as well too. And like you said, and everyone's going to agree with you, that's a Michigan fan and maybe outside of opposing teams, but we have the best defensive front in college football, I still believe. The record might not show it, but it's true. So, like, I feel like I'm repeating myself with Wink, but a lot what Trente is saying right now, I agree with, and we've already talked about this whole year. Every single episode to a point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that, man. And also on top of that, I had an opinion. I was seeing Ernest like reaching a lot, and that made me think, like, where was he starting? He was starting in a position that he was coached to be in, and now he has usually the most tackles, but he also misses a lot of tackles because he's in a position where he's guarding a lot of space.
That he's
very fast.
Exactly.
He's very fast, but he's not Devin Bush or.
I was just gonna say Devin Bush. Yeah,
he's not. That's not who you're working with. You got to put people like me. You don't want to put me one-on-one with a D tackle in the tight end position. That's not in my body. Look at me. I'm like thin compared to most like blocking tight ends. When it came to, like, usually it's a Miles Hinton and you put 350, 6'8" on this, and almost said something crazy. You put 350, 6'8" on this young man right here, darkened individual, right? You put him there and you block down. If you put me on that same person, most I'll get is a stalemate. Why are we doing this? And I want to go over to the sideline and go talk some sense into somebody. Don't put me out there like that. You're hanging me out to dry. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
And that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like he's doing. He hanging them out to dry, man. Like, with I don't know, man.
Secondary.
I just feel like
especially the secondary.
We got to switch.
Yeah,
switch, man.
I feel the same.
Nothing's going to change. We're going to fall into the same aspect where we did with Don Brown. Don Brown, great guy, I'm sure. We've had Dale Mullins on the podcast. Nothing but good things from Don Brown. I'm sure he's a really great guy. But, like, we can't just keep doing this every single year. If he has not adjusted or changed from his stubborn ways from putting these players in positions, we have to move forward. And So this CJ brings up a good point too, and we talked about it throughout the year. Yes, players need to be accountable because they have to execute it. But at the same time, if we're matching and Wink isn't calling the right packages on defense, and the same thing goes with offense, you're still putting those players in a position where it's going to negatively impact them or their play, and that play is not going to turn out as Michigan is what we want to expect. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's
whenever you're
Go ahead, Trenton. Nope, you're good.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
I fucking love it. Okay,
Love it.
So accountability, right? You really, when you're talking about accountability on players, right? Here's what the player can do. Imagine you're in a bubble. You're in a space, right? Where the player 100% executes exactly what the coach is saying. If that what they're being told to execute is still gonna F up, then it's got to be the coach, right? Now imagine you're talking about a college kid who has school, has a girlfriend, has stress, has this. They're going to mess up sometimes. And when they mess up sometimes and they're put in a bad position, that's even widening the margin of error that's going to happen throughout a game. Even if he's perfect, he's still going to be put out of a position sometimes. Now, the less that happens, the better their coach is. Now, the more that happens, that's even adding to how much that margin of error is going to affect the person in a game. If he is absolutely perfect with what they're being coached, he's still going to get beat. Still going to get beat, right? So when you make that margin of error even wider for him to mess up, odds are, flip a coin, he's going to mess up. So that's why a lot of people in our position, Dre, you know what I'm saying? That's why we talk about coaching, because if a coach can't put our players in the best position possible every time, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be, that's how it's gonna be. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it.
I'm glad you gave your opinion, because you're a former player, and you know what I'm saying, you know what y'all really go through, like on a day-to-day, week-to-week. You know what I'm saying? For the
even
season,
on a personal level as well too. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of questions yet for this year. Got Manda this year fly by. My God. But we got a few more games left. Like, holy shit. Like, it's crazy. I think there's a lot more questions. There's going to be questions going into the off season as well too. So just have to wait.
I know one thing. I know one. We gotta revamp our staff. Like, we gotta really revamp our staff. You know what I'm saying? Offensive, defensive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's far in between or what's going on. I like Grant Newsome. I think he should stay where he at. But it's some things that gotta change on the coaching staff. He gotta revamp his staff, because this ain't it, man. It's not Michigan, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is we out here looking crazy.
I think the big thing with me, it's the discipline factor. We've had a lot of missed tackles this year. We've had a lot of missed tackles this year, and the number is off the chart compared to what we saw the last 3 years from our defense.
You know what I'm saying? Even though homeboy from Illinois, like he got a right. That's why I say he got a right to come in and talk a little shit, because like, we don't supposed to be losing to no damn Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Or even
if they are doing good. Even if
exactly, that's what I'm saying. You already know. Like, even if they is, we don't supposed to be losing to them, man.
Damn, if they're undefeated, this is Illinois. What are we talking about? Indiana's a little different.
Indiana. Go for it.
I was literally about to say that. I feel a little different about them, because they got the JMU coach, and they brought a lot of players over.
James Madison coach, dude, all he does is win. I don't think that guy's taking a loss in his life.
He's different. And he brought some players over from JMU.
And he talks shit. He's confident.
Man,
he backs it up.
No, hold on. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. No, I like you, but we supposed to be whooping their ass. You know
absolutely. I don't like, when you think of Indiana, you don't think of a winning program. We need to be
exactly basketball. That's a basketball program, bro.
Yeah. I don't even think that basketball. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
See, I think a lot. It's been a weird, chaotic football season. It just reminds me of like the last few years of college basketball. Anyone can win.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can win.
So like Marquette winning, yeah.
And I mean, like literally, like it's
I'm
just
still
been
sticking
crazy.
with my pick. I think Oregon gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah, you guys want to do some score predictions?
But yeah, we can do that. Come on.
Oregon 65. No, I'm playing. I got Oregon.
I'm about to say, damn.
Damn.
I was just ready to remove him right now. One button away.
Man, nah, Oregon. I'm gonna give Oregon. No, I do think Oregon's gonna win, unfortunately. But I'm gonna give it 30. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. My first thought was 45 and Michigan 28.
Holy crap.
I feel like Davis Warren comes in.
I
feel like Davis Warren comes in, starts balling, but I also think the defense starts getting a little violated on the DB side because their wide receivers are different.
Real different.
Yeah.
You gotta look at Brett's comment real quick.
What do you say?
Real life Marty Daniels from Blue Mountain State. Love that show.
Shout out my boy Brett. Oh, and shout out my boy Trav too, man. Trav, I love you, bro. Be safe in Miami, baby.
Real.
Travis, what do you got, man? What do you got? Score prediction.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Or Dre.
Oh, Dre, yeah.
You already know, bro. I never go against us. I don't give a damn what's going on.
We could be fighting all of the hell. I'm still taking Michigan.
Yeah, I was about to say
we'd be fighting all of the hell, and I'm still taking Michigan. Let's go.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't give a damn if we ain't had nobody on our team but a quarterback. I'm still taking Michigan. So with that being said, I'm gonna say 28-21 Michigan.
Man,
we storm the field. And we storm the field.
Nah, if that happens, I don't even know what I would do, cuz I don't even know.
Storm the field, baby. We storming the field, baby.
Defense has to play out like hair on fire out of their fucking
secondary is gonna have to execute.
They can. They can.
That was one thing we weren't worried about, but I think it's that new coaching aspect. But we have
it's the coaching.
If they had the best coaches on the planet, I can see it happen. But I don't think we do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
Drinking that blue Kool-Aid.
Blue
damn
Kool-Aid.
Skippy, I'm drinking blue and maize. We out here,
blue
baby.
And maize. I love it. I love the players. I feel like all right, how about this? I'll change my answer if all things go right and they put all the players in the right position throughout the entire game. I think if they do that, the margin error will be small and they can hit in that margin of error.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't have the faith that they can do that for the boys. For the boys. My boys out there are fighting for their life. They're fighting for their life out there.
I love it, though.
Yeah, bro. They are.
They're not running.
For their life.
They're not running, though. They're fighting.
Okay. You see this hat. God is real. That's my brand. You know what I'm saying? Keep God first. Shout out God is real. If you look at my Instagram, hitting that bio, you know what I'm saying? Scroll down a little bit. Click that Drywall link. God is real. Oh, use code REAL too.
My dog merch.
REAL period.
Go buy some of my dog.
Little discount.
Go buy some of my dog merch, man.
Dry World. Yes, sir. That's all I got for shameless promotion.
You got a big
Twitch out there.
Twitch.
Yeah,
TikTok.
Twitch and TikTok.
TikTok is Trente Jones. TRENTJONES. YouTube. Oh, I do film reviews on YouTube, by the way, y'all boys. YouTube is Trente Jones _ right? Instagram, Trente J _53. Freaking. Oh, are they on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Man, go to my YouTube.
Yeah, this is YouTube.
Yeah.
We on YouTube.
Go to my damn YouTube.
Yeah.
Trente Jones _ man. Word. Pull up.
Do it after the show.
Yeah, y'all go subscribe.
We're almost wrapping
up.
You can do it now,
man.
Real, bro. Real.
How many subscribers you got on TikTok?
Jay.
How many subscribers you got on TikTok right now, Trente?
TikTok 400 something thousand. Instagram 110. YouTube 2.9.
2.9 million?
Nah, 2.9K. 2.9K.
Oh,
a million would be crazy.
Shoot. Yeah.
2.9K though.
Thing.
And then Twitch, I'm on 5.9. Twitch is TTV Alsico, ALSIKO. That's the only one that's not Trente, by the way.
Let me ask you this though: is that that's what you enjoy doing? You enjoy streaming? You a stream? Like, would you say you a streamer?
I would say I'm more of a content creator because I make on every single platform. Now, if I ever get to the point where all I'm doing is streaming, then I'll call myself a streamer. But usually, I'm gonna say I'm a content creator because I like to broaden my horizons across all platforms.
For sure. All right, Jason, let me get your score prediction, baby.
Score prediction, Jay.
For all the success too, man. So Michigan fan, just be serious about this. 158 to nothing.
You already
Michigan.
know.
100.
Let's go, baby.
58.
That's what it's gonna be. Colston Loveland 10 touchdowns. Donald throws for 5 of those. Kenneth Grant runs for what do I want all year, the last couple of seasons, Trey? I want a freaking Kenneth Grant 99-yard rushing touchdown. That's all I want. When he picked up that ball against USC, I thought he was going. And I wanted him to pick it up last week too. But he was smart. He fell on it. He could have went. That's all I want. Realistically, Michigan fan, transitioning to football fan here. I think Michigan are always going to win, regardless. Like I said, we could be facing all of hell, spit on hell. I don't give a shit about them. We're winning always. Michigan 27, Oregon 24. Go Blue.
Yeah, y'all both have crazy expectations for this defense, and honestly, I live for that. I think it's a high scoring game, y'all boys. I think we gotta outscore them.
Hey, we are homers. We are really homers here, bro. I don't think since we started doing predictions, we never. I don't think we never picked Michigan to lose since we started doing predictions.
No.
So
last year we started doing the pod, and we never lost a game. So
okay, but last year is a little different.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying though. But we're like,
no doubt, no doubt.
We're seeing the light, and now we're seeing kind of like a little bit like, okay, this is different. Like second year in the podcast, like this is a different like strategy we got to come into on these episodes, and like we're almost talking like we can't just talk about all the positives now. Like we got to like talk about a lot of the other things as far as like some of the negatives as well too, and you can see it in our fan base. I mean, no one likes to lose, but people handle it differently. So, it is what it is. Keep moving.
Yep.
So it looks like John's got a score prediction too. 21-14
for coming on and thank everybody for commenting and you know what I'm saying, interacting with us tonight, man. Y'all are always awesome. When we do our pods every Tuesday night, man. If y'all haven't already, please like and subscribe on ours and Trente's. Go buy some merch from my guy. Go buy some merch from us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know it's good. Thank y'all for watching again, man. We're gonna continue to give y'all the greatest content that any Michigan fan page can ever give y'all. So thank y'all for the support. D, we love y'all. Love you. We gonna miss you a couple episodes. Again, congratulations, bro. We love you. We miss you. And y'all know my saying, love one another, respect one another, and it's always forever. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.